Hello and welcome to the Black Wolf Division. Well, I had a chance to play another game of War Thunder, which was fun to be able to squeeze it in and, well, took the Puma out for a drive. This is at Battle Ranking 4.0. Puma is, well, I believe 2.7. They may have changed that since I memorized that, so my number may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's 2.7. So going at 4.0, but why am I taking the Puma? Well, as you can see, if you check out my other videos, my last two especially have been with the Puma. I just hate to stop playing it even though I'm at higher VR. The reason why is it's fast, agile, and has a decent gun, and you can mark the enemy. Now, you will see this light tank that is coming along with me right back here. He's going to use some of those features really well to his advantage and to the whole team's advantage. You will see in a moment what armored car that is and what he does, which is really good. So I'm not going to actually do what you're going to expect with this capture point. I just drove right through it. You'll see why in just a moment. I'm not going to spoil that though. Let's fast forward. Okay, here comes the other armored car. And it is the British Sark armored car. I believe that has a 50 cal on the top, which is really good. So if you notice, he really quickly gets into marking the enemy. At least I'm pretty sure it's him who marks the enemy. The reason why is it has to be a light tank to mark the enemy, and well, all the light tanks are really out here on the other side. So he's the only one who could necessarily mark them. So now at this point, this BT-7 comes in. He comes sliding down the hill, the almighty pancake guy does, just trying to avoid being killed. He takes out the BT-7 before even I can get my turret lined up, which is really good, fast moving on his part. Okay, so now I move and start going around the corner here, trying to get a hit on one of these tanks that he has marked. So I got a critical on that T-34. Followed up, knocked out the turret ring. The advantage of the turret ring, which I was just trying to shoot the side on this case, I wasn't aiming for the turret ring, is so they can't turn the turret. Knock out that SPG up on top of the hill, and well, this team is taking a pounding. The enemy team is kind of stuck between me, Mighty Pancake, and the other team, just kind of like crushed in from both sides. So they're trying to do what they can to play what they have, using the valley to their advantage, but still pounding at them. KV-1 here, getting a lot of what I usually get when I shoot a KV-1 directly at 90 degree, is that it will bounce. I do have something that happens later with KV-1, actually, two different KV-1s in this game mode. So there was a T-34, by the way, that was right there. So that's the reason why I had to back up. But you'll see there's a burnt out T-34 here. I marked him as I backed up, and then somebody else took care of him for me. Because otherwise, yeah, right there. You can see even his turret is aiming my way. I probably would have been dead, so I'm thankful for whoever that teammate was who took care of him for me. So at this point in the battle, we do have 2 kills. So it looks like not as much is going down on in that valley right now. So now I'm moving. I hear the shooting, and look, there's a T-34 just right across the road. Right, and then there's a KV-1 right there too. And that's what's surprising is I get a one-shot kill on a KV-1, but that's not the most surprising thing that happens in this battle. You will have to wait to see what that is. Okay, so the enemy now is really pushing up. By the way, here comes a bomb nearby me. Teammate dropped some bombs. I think he did end up crashing. But the nice thing with that is he didn't hit me with bomb, which I know how hard it is when you're trying to dive to actually hit precisely where you want. I'm also grateful for this train too, because where he was bombing, there's a naturally deep valley where the road runs through, so I'm kind of shielded from the blast. There on the hit cam, my artillery I called earlier on that grouping, all it did was give me a slight amount of points, very, very, very small amount, but basically just grazed the track of the tank. So if you notice at this point, Mighty Pancake is not near me, he's way over here. I think that's the guy right there. So he moves back, moves more into the open, he's trying to get some more hits. We'll see Mighty Pancake, by the way, a little bit later. He'll be in a different tank, doing something slightly different. So there's another KV-1. I mean, like, this team had so many KV-1s. One shot killed him, too. I mean, like, I don't know. I'm kind of lost for words. I don't expect getting that result with the KV-1 with the Puma. Now, the best chance to shoot is where I was shooting, which is right around the turret ring, kind of more right between the tracks. There's this flat space. But if you don't get it in a correct 90-degree or something like that, it seems to bounce, like what you were seeing earlier in this game when I was peeking around the rocks at all the tanks that were down in that valley. So right now I'm just looking for a kill, and just keep an eye in a little bit. We got a little bit of time before we reach that point, but there's a really big surprise that happens in two different ways. So I'll try to point that out when that happens. So again, I can't see all of these tanks that are lighting up red up there because no one has marked them. So this is in the replay mode. I do spot the ZSU-37 at this point. I mark him, shoot him. My first shot bounced, just barely did anything to him, but the second shot does kill him. So now we're up to 5 kills. There goes a T-34, set him on fire. What he does is pretty smart here. He doesn't just stop right where he is, he keeps moving because his engine's still working. So he's trying to shelter behind the rock, he just doesn't understand that I still can see him. So I do hit him again, but not much. Someone calls artillery on me at this point, I'm guessing it was him, not sure. So I'm backing up trying to avoid getting hit by the artillery. So now, after the artillery's passed, I'm now driving up to the place, trying to be able to see what I can hit and what I can see at this point. Most of the enemy now, well, there's the enemy comes and tries to drop bombs, but fortunately the plane takes him out. And he misses me too, so that was a closer one. Okay, now here's the surprise. I didn't even hear that or see that T-34 sneak up on me. I'm surprised he also didn't shoot his main gun. I don't get why he didn't shoot his main gun, but I'll take that. I popped my smokes. Now the problem here was, my smoke closed him in the circle, so the teammates couldn't take him out. Now I'm sitting in this valley because it will force him to expose himself driving over the top of the ridge. Tanks have a softer underbelly, so I have a better chance of knocking him out when he goes into the ridge. Now, how I knock him out is totally surprising. I'm going to slow it down, try to slow it down when it comes up, trying to point out what happens as it happens. So, watch what happens as I shoot. Look where the round goes. It bounces off the barrel, goes into his turret ring, and one shot kills the tank. That is surprising. I wish I could say I had that all planned out, but sometimes when things go unexpected, but it turned out that way, I was just like, that is surprising. And that's not a shot that usually happens. So I just feel like this video had a bunch of accidental trick shots. Because I'm going to basically put it down to that with the one-shot kills of the T-34s, KV-1s. Because the first KV-1s are prime examples of how hard it is to actually kill a KV-1. So getting the 2 one-shot kills on the KV-1s. And then a T-34 bouncing off the barrel, hitting the turret ring, and then knocking out the whole crew and the tank is really kind of surprising. So at this point, the enemy is slowing down, but what is interesting is while all this action's been going on here, this enemy's heavy tank just like sneaks up and just like kind of like spawn camps our team. Just kind of a funny thing that happened there. Right? As why did that guy just go all the way over here? Right now, there's only 4 of us here. Now, you will see something pass me in just a moment. Actually, you'll have to wait till he passes me because my turret is turned. I do call artillery and mark that the anti-aircraft. I believe it's anti-aircraft. Yeah, anti-aircraft that's been shooting at that Panzer IV. But look at who's over here. Mighty Pancake. He's now in a Cromwell, I think it is. Yeah, Cromwell. Now, he's been playing really good. Or I should say really well. But one thing that he is doing, look how far he's tipped forward and where he is located. And then that anti-aircraft is shooting the underside of his tank, it looks like. Based on where he's parked and everything. So that is a dangerous part of having a higher elevation than the enemy you're going against. The other thing that is dangerous about his place, which I'll show you in a moment, there's a little bit going on, I'll just try to show you in a moment. So if he's sitting here, look at where the road goes. This is all lower. These dark specks are, big rock formations. So if there's an enemy camping right here, he has like a narrow window he can shoot through, making him a hard target for the guy in Mighty Pancake or that Cromwell to shoot him. So that's a riskier place to be sitting. Now, his riskier sitting paid off really early. It's risky, choices of sitting or parking, or I can't think of a better way to describe it, really paid off early in the game when he was over here, marked all the enemies for the team. I believe his marking there was pivotal in the success of this game for our team. So a nice job playing there. So now I'm marking this T-34. Pop a shot at him. Well, I think I eventually do. There I go. Set him on fire. And then I think that Nohai, Honai 3 is who actually finished knocking off that T-34. That ZIS 30, I do not think I see him at this point. Those are, I would say, a pretty hard vehicle to drive because they're an SPG. You don't have a turret, and half your crew is like completely exposed to machine gun fire, shrapnel, and all that stuff. One shot killed him. That one is not a hard one-shot kill. Except for if you hit him where there's no armor, no crew, you can just technically shoot right through. But it's a smaller, more compact, so I guess it's a lot easier to hit something essential with having such a small, compact vehicle. So basically, this game came down to being where no one expected you, Mighty Pancake marking tons of the team, which is the power of a light tank, and then pinching the enemy between the 2 light tanks or armored cars, Mighty Pancakes and mine, and the other team. So it kind of forced the enemy into a uncomfortable spot to be in. And then basically the game went from there. It was kind of like tightening a noose as the whole enemy team was caught by my team that kept pushing up this way. So everyone was playing really well. I don't know what I would have done if I was in the enemy place. But yeah, it was a good game. So thank you for watching. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and the thumbs up. Both of those really help both of us. And, well, we'll see you in future videos. Thank you for watching, and would love to hear from you in the comments. See you on the future battlefields of War Thunder.